Right. Remember the other day I told you that Africa's not allowed to have its own nuclear weapons? Well, neither is Germany under two treaties. They're banned from either making or owning them. But this week, Germany said it's in talks with EU allies about developing their own. Why? Well, TRUMP's been threatening to pull out of the UN. He's hinted at leaving NATO, and at Davos he even started building a new peace treaty on his own terms. So Europe's like, guys, I'm not feeling too secure right now. I don't know if you know, but Germany already holds US nukes on its soil. It's called NATO nuclear sharing, but they don't control them. There are around 100 across Europe just sitting there. That's the tension, right? Countries without real control want it. And once one moves, best know others will follow, right? Japan, South Korea, Poland, they've all started hinting too. So, how's Africa still expected to stay silent when we're not even the ones starting wars, guys? And when we try to defend ourselves, it's not just about funding, it's political cost, right? Germany can take the risk if the EU backs it. Europe can step out. Africa gets punished just for asking by the same global powers who hold the keys, the IAEA, the UN Security Council, the West Security Club. But if the UN's already shaking, that changes everything, doesn't it? If anyone should be protected, it's us, with the oil, the gold, the cobalt, the ones feeding the world, fueling the tech, and holding the future population. But we're the ones left defensive. The Palindiba Treaty bans us from even trying. We're the only continent where every country is forbidden from nuclear weapons. And yet some say Africa's too unstable. But Africa's never actually used one. The West has twice. When Europe talks protection, the world listens. When Africa does, silence, sanctions, and the ones who tried, Gaddafi, he gave up his nuclear program, handed it over to the West. I say handed it over, but we know how that went, right? And then years later, they killed him, not just for weapons, but for what he represented. He funded satellites. He pushed for African armies. He tried to build a gold-backed currency to break the West grip. So now we know the problem. What's the solution? This isn't about bombs at all. It's about bargaining chips. And every time Africa builds its own, they break it. We've started, right? ECOWAS has a force. The AU has a framework. But they're fragile. And while we delay coups, drones, foreign bases, resource deals, that's the cost of inaction. And right now, the West is scrambling for access, minerals, markets, migration control. This is leverage. This is the moment to start setting the terms. Honestly, not just for trade, but for protection. Africa needs alignment, independent defense funding, share protection, no outside permission, because safety you have to ask for isn't safety at all, is it? And while I'm not saying we need nuclear weapons, that's a dangerous road with serious risks. I'm asking the question, if Africa did ever want its own protection, who decides and where would it live? What's your thoughts?